104.0 Marianto is where we at.
First and foremost, I want to thank everybody out there.
Please don't give a political speech. This is not the platform.
This is the morning mix on Informanté Radio.
My favorite show.
You're talking about one person, Maria. Yeah. One person that you know. But you don't know every therapist.
Yeah, no, I'm saying everybody's professional, but I mean...
Exactly.
But
so you stop defending her. We're not talking about her now. I'm
not talking about her also.
I'm talking about my cousin therapist who tells people stories.
Lend an ear and join us every morning.
All the time.
I listen all day, every day.
I don't know. I'm just addicted to it.
But Maria, I'm also family of yours. Dis is nie familie nie.
Sy het gister vir ons gesê ons is broers.
Hallo.
Sê sy vir ons is
thank you.
Very good.
Yeah.
No, I've said your family zone.
Nee.
You just said we are not family. You are a Kwanyama.
It's my brother.
The morning mix.
Starting your day with a bang. You are listening to Namibia's best radio station, Informanté Radio.
LifeSave guarantees the growth of an individual's savings over a period of time. With guaranteed 8.5% compound interest rates per year, making your money work for you has never been this easy. SMS LifeSave to 31844. LifeSave, underwritten by Trusco Life.
Hey! Wake up! The views and opinions expressed on the radio program by the guests, advertisers, news bulletins, call-in listeners or chatters are solely the views and opinions of the source who express them. They do not necessarily reflect the opinions and the views of Trusco Group International, the broadcast regulators in Namibia, or that of the Informanté radio station. This is Informanté Radio, the sound for a new age.
What shall we do? Hiding answer. 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 Hiding answer. I wanna pay the beats, I wanna make you mine, I wanna take you out, I wanna make you my lover, my lover, I wanna make you my lover, my lover, I wanna give you a kiss, so can I get a hug? I wanna make you mine, I wanna take you out, or can I make you my lover, my lover, I wanna make you my lover, I suck at you, damn it, I suck at you, shit, I suck at you, damn it, I suck at you, shit.
Daddy man, saudara man, waka sedang apna tafugen ungre man, daddy gili saudara man, tuni khuske ega kuge dis khain saga yanga jo damn it. Saganyaga your shit. Saganyaga you damn it. Saganyaga your shit.
What shall we do? I didn't answer. What shall we do? Didn't answer. What shall we do? I didn't answer. What shall we do?
Daddy gili man, saudara man. Waka sidra ngapna tapu gen unle man. Daddy gili saudara man. Tuni kuzge ega kuge miskanyi. Saga yaga jo damn it. Saga yaga jo shit. Saga yaga jo damn it. Saga yaga yo shit.
Yeah, that's how we start the Wednesday morning.
You almost wanted to say start the week.
Yeah, I actually almost said the Tuesday.
Oh.
I can't believe we are already past the halfway mark in November, bra. Yes.
Ek kan nie wag nie.
This year.
I'm tired of you. I'm tired of this one. Jay Shines, ne? I'm also tired of you. En julle almal who's watching this, ne? Ek is moeg met julle.
Want toe wil jy gaan?
Ek wil vakansie gaan doen. Ja, and you people who are also listening, ne? Ja, tsauda gera.
Tsauda
gera.
Ek is moeg.
Ek is moeg. Voor vakansie gaan doen.
More mense.
Hi, more everybody.
Welcome to the morning mix right here on Informanté Radio. I am Cubase as always. Neville in the studio with me. Mary is going to be joining us shortly.
Yeah.
It's Twazis featuring Chester House Prince and Chucky with my lover Tingamsa. What shall we do?
It's always been a pleasure to have those guys in the studio.
Twazis, yeah.
Twazis, and very cool guys.
They're actually busy working on something, so I am gonna try and get a hold of them maybe by Friday or sometime during next week. But they've got this.
Misschien volgende week. Ik kan checken.
I'll let the tour, but ik denk volgende week vrijdag beginnen in Caribbean. Ja, so as ons either.
Begin die tour no vrijdag.
Volgende week vrijdag.
Amai. Oh, okay.
In Caribbean. So yeah, maybe sometime this week, maybe sometime next week, we will get them into studio.
Probably this week, but
want
ons is seker Vrydag in Caribbean wees.
Wie is ons?
Namohona.
Well,
yeah, there's something happening there in Caribbean.
Yeah, but on Friday there's also something that is going to be happening on the air. I don't want to let the kid out of the bag, so
yeah, the launch.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably what's going to take up the Friday morning on the morning mix. But we'll give you more information, of course, as we go on. Anyway, Morayela, let's get to the news of the day.
VJ.
Kos begin eers hier, so was dit. Is die Shandy. The Africa Cup of Nations qualifier match between Namibia and Mali in Windhoek yesterday, which ended in a 2-1 victory for the visitors. It's the first time Mali has beaten the Brave Warriors here on Namibian soil. The Brave Warriors were all set to make use of the home advantage for their second match against the Eagles. News that 8 members of the visiting team tested
positive. Must you mention that? For what? It makes it even worse if you mention it.
Of the visiting team tested positive for COVID-19 upon arrival in Namibia. Raised their hopes even further. However, the Eagles prevailed with some of their star players on the bench
and secured the victory in Windhoek. The Namibians also struggled against Mali during their away match in Bamako last Friday, which ended, of course, in a 1-0 victory for Mali, courtesy of a penalty, I believe.
So we...
Het jy die game gecheck?
Wie ek is nie, ek het geoefen die tyd. I was, because I got home just past 8. But I'm on Natharita.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I went home. It's like, if I'm not going to put on my training gear now, I know it's at night, then I'm not going to train.
It's a kick, die Mexican.
So ek kom los die deur op. So I went jogging and I had a full workout until about, say, around 10-ish or so. So, nou kyk ek op my phone while I'm training and I hear the comments that everybody's like, we are playing weak.
Yes.
Ons speel swak. Goalkeeping errors. And,
like the second goal, right? The Mali second goal, Virgil basically just threw the ball in the net. I mean, it's a goalkeeping error, but he saved the penalty and he made a couple of great saves during the match as well. I mean, to be honest, especially at the start of the second half. Yeah, I was watching.
Okay.
Mali came out all guns blazing.
Nee.
Like they could have scored like 3 goals in the opening 5 minutes of the first half. I think, you see, there were little spurts of where Namibia actually, where we managed to hold on to the ball, the Warriors.
Yeah.
Well, we were playing some decent football. But I can tell you, throughout the 90 minutes, we could not match Mali for their intensity. We just could not. Even when we lost the ball, just the energy to try and recover the ball was not there. We were allowing Mali to just play. But then you should have seen how they sort of close down the ball as soon as they lose the ball. So we kept playing those long balls, hoping.
There's just no penetration.
That's the control in the midfield. There's nobody in the midfield who can take the ball.
Sorry that I mentioned penetration. Maria, sorry. Maria, I'm saying
no. Like
Maria,
the result wasn't too bad, but the match itself was nonsense.
I say I'm sorry that I talk about penetration.
Raktof begin Maria's a mic under. Don't make it worse.
Let me be the fixer.
Come on.
Hey, our fixer.
Magic touch.
Gentle lady, yeah.
So, which begs the question again.
All the infighting.
Because we need to do some soul searching now again. As to where we are football-wise. We have no active league. We have no active football. This is an African powerhouse that we are playing against.
Yeah, boy.
What else do we expect from our players?
It's like, even if we were hoping for a win, I think deep down we knew with the kind of situation that we're in with Namibian football, it was always going to be an uphill battle. And you could just tell that this guy is like the fitness levels, right? Just even the walk rate on I think in around the 30th minute, there was this perfect shot of the Mali guy walking next to a Namibian guy. And the Namibian, Lakers of age again. No net 80 Baba shop uitgekomen. And the Mali guy is sweating, like the sweat is dripping. And these are two people who are on the pitch. We've been on the pitch for the same time. So you could just see even the walk rate, those guys were really, really working as a team. The Namibians...
But I want to ask, do they do this full time?
And that is what I wanted to...
The football.
Professional footballers.
For them.
Yes, it's Mali.
Mali.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes this is where I mean we do need to understand our shortcomings.
Yes, of course.
But these guys are not doing it professionally. They're not doing it full time. They have to have day jobs to maintain and sustain themselves and their families. So when you even on fitness level, you almost cannot compete. It's like you're handicapped.
Yes,
I mean, in all fairness, when you're competing with people that do this all the time, like they live off of football, they get paid playing football, and that's their livelihood.
I mean, Mali had a couple of players who play like in France and in other leagues in Europe. I almost said I didn't
Maria,
say two.
They were colonized by the French, so it's probably the whole team that plays it.
But I think I was looking at it from that perspective because I don't think we did terribly. I mean, all things considered, all things considered, I don't think we did terribly. Of course, you expected. Maybe I expected an equalizer only because we heard that 6 of their players, 8 of their players tested positive for COVID. So you're like, oh,
yes,
Benchella,
yes, that's how I felt like when I was driving home.
But even the ones that were playing, I mean, like I said, these people do it professionally. This is all they do from morning till noon every day.
Like the boy who missed the penalty is like 19. Mashiom Sinobi pitch, he's playing like one of those 27-year-old professionals.
Yeah. Guys, about 2 weeks ago, because obviously as an Arsenal supporter, Arsenal feeds me everything about the club. I get notifications.
Yeah.
I get a notification from Arsenal Football Academy because I think there was this one time a few years ago when I had the opportunity to visit their training grounds, and obviously my son being a footballer, you obviously look at opportunities, etc., etc. They sent me 2 weeks ago the schedule of an academy player at Arsenal. They get up at 7, breakfast. They go to the training grounds. They train till 9, 2 hours. They come back. They come and have, I think until 10 o'clock, they have an educational hour. Program. 11 o'clock, they go back, train for another 2 hours, till 1 o'clock. They go and have lunch. 2 o'clock, they start training again, till 4. They come back from the pitch. They have another educational hour or whatever. Then they train from 7 until 9. They train a full 8 to 9 hours per day at the age of 16. So, and what you say, my bra werk by Simot
MTC.
of by MTC. Nee, die man shaila ulat, al 5 nee. Okay, some of these centers. Okay, dan moet eerst die mensen is to ray, and then he gets to the pitch. What, 6 o'clock?
6, 7 o'clock. Yeah.
En bij 9 uur dan moet die man naar huis toe gaan. 2 hours per day.
Yeah, you cannot compete. I was listening to the gymnast. What is this gymnast? Olympic, also a medalist from the USA. The short gymnast that's
black girl.
Yeah, the black girl.
I see her face.
She's a superpower.
Yeah. I see her face.
It's all everybody's talking about. But I was listening to an interview of just her training. I mean, she started gymnastics at a very, very young age. But even from then, I mean, just the potential they saw in her, and then obviously getting her into that. You listen to her grueling schedule. I mean, it's everything from diet, from going to from the trainers to the coaches to, I mean, you have a whole team behind just one person. And I'm talking about the physician, and it's crazy. But and this story is evident in almost, if you look at all these Olympic competitors, like Olympics competitors, like all of them are like that. They've got teams and teams. I mean, it's a machine behind each and every one of these, especially the medalist winners. I mean, it's just wow. And then on the home front, and then you wonder why we don't have, for example, another, apart from Frank, why we don't have another Olympic medalist. I'm not, obviously we had with the Paralympics, but I'm talking about the normal Olympics. Why? Do you understand that just how much investment just goes into one person? Just one person. You say a person with a full potential and just fully investing in them like a machine.
True.
And we're not there. And you look at our football and you can see we're not even close. You look at our boxing, where it's a little bit better, but even
I
there,
think
it's
our
not
boxing
even.
is doing well.
Yeah, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. A little better, but if in comparison to
No,
the
no,
people
no,
they're
you're right.
competing against, I think it's just because we're really talented.
Yeah.
And that's what's saving us, even on the boxing.
And also boxing gets, I don't want to say adequate, but they get
More-
significant funding.
Yes, significant.
Yes, they get
and that's not
significant
even
funding.
enough, but that's in comparison to other sports
Yes,
codes, I would
yes.
say.
Talking about boxing, I think it was a bit disappointing for me that I remember 2 years ago when Blue Machine was fighting Sean Crawford, and he was beaten, I think, in the second or third round, and the Blue Machine was knocked out, Julius Indongo. Sean Crawford went to Julius Indongo's dressing room. Obviously, yo, man,
Yeah.
good fight, man, yo. And Ims was also there.
Yeah.
So these are two professional boxers. Sean Crawford walks out telling Julius Indongo, yo, man, you should throw your punches.
Yeah.
It needs to come from your shoulder, man.
Yeah.
And don't just launch at me, man.
Yeah.
You're going to become such a better boxer, man.
Swinging too much.
You're swinging too, yeah, that was his
Yeah,
words.
yeah, he's
You're
swinging
swinging too much, man. You need to punch from the shoulder. Now, if the same guy in your same category
Yeah.
on such a high professional level comes to your dressing room and tell you a flaw that you have,
That a trainer should have picked out.
that the trainer should have picked up, and a skill that you should have had from, because Floyd
Yeah.
Mayweather started fighting when he was
Yeah.
9 years old.
Yeah.
Our boxers start fighting when we are 15. Olata.
Yes. It's true.
Yeah, no,
It's
it
true.
is.
Malian footballers go to Europe from their family home by the time they're 14, 15.
Yeah.
Hungry.
Yeah. No, it's guys, this we want those medals.
Yeah.
We want those medals, but like,
But
what are
we
we
need to
really,
invest
we
in the
need-
in sports in the country first.
This weekend there were the athletic national thing that was happening at the stadium.
Okay.
And I saw a video of this girl. I mean, she's fast. The girl I think she's from the Zambezi region. She's like,
400 meter.
yeah, I think she did 200 and 400. Yeah.
As a Kavango girl.
Yeah, that Kavango.
Hey.
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 Ah.
Hey. That she left them by. I'll show you the video. Left them by a huge distance.
Those Kestas Menya margins.
Yes, actually, and it's funny you should mention Kesta because those are some allegations that are coming out
Oh,
now.
up away.
Yes.
Because I touched her like this.
Yeah.
I was hosting an event. The David.
What's her
Herman
name?
David-
Please help me. I hate when I'm talking about somebody and I feel
forgot
like
her name.
Yeah.
But she's a 400 meter
Yes,
specialist.
yes.
Maria, I'm standing on stage with this girl, so obviously talking to her. Ek vat so aan die musiek. Cubase. On my way.
It's hard.
Clip hard.
It's most muscular, most.
Yeah.
Oh!
But the point I was making, so she's a star, but now you ask her, go ask who her sponsors are, go check who her team is behind her, go check what they're doing to really elevate her and take her, because the determination is there, and obviously the talent
Best
is
under
there.
17
Yeah.
in
Yes,
the world at the moment.
yes, and the talent is there, but like, are we really, can we say we're doing enough to groom? Because she might not make it at the next
Olympic Games or whatever.
but the one after, because she's 17, she's got time. You know, she just needs that push, that extra thing, and I mean, we kind of letting ourselves down. And if she comes back and here she's competing first in everything, and then she goes to the Olympics and she's coming 6th, 7th, you know, or like, because she doesn't have
We're not
that,
training. We're not pushing.
we're not pushing the way we need to be pushing, but then we cry foul. So pity, such a pity we didn't get that medal, whatever it is, whether it's bronze, silver, or gold. But what we're really not doing enough. And I mean, guys, like, I think, let us just.
We need to invest.
need
We need to invest in
invest
sports.
in our
I remember. I'll never forget. Like the FIFA president, I think last year or the year before, when he was in Namibia, they asked him that question. I think on his way out of the country about what he thinks Namibia should do to sort of develop its football. And he said the first thing that you guys need to do is build infrastructure, because there's nowhere for the boys to play soccer. Like if you drive around, you see this dilapidated fields or pitches. At least upgrade the playing surfaces so you have a lot more people playing football, and then you have a bigger pool to draw talent from.
And you're right.
Yeah, it started grassroots levels. That's what we always say. Then you find these guys that are trying to get money. I'm talking about officials from the Ministry of Sports to go to some sporting event, abroad that's taking millions because they're taking a whole delegation, and you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? This money can be used.
Hey, Maria, alsjeblieft.
Speaking of...
Yes, this money can be used to upgrade
we need to go
dilapidated
and see
facilities.
how the things work.
Listen here, Never. Speaking of money, you remember in the 2010 World Cup, there was an issue of us getting money from FIFA also to upgrade some of our facilities, because there were a couple of teams that wanted to use Namibia as their training, basically as their base. Now, where did that money go?
Moenie stories
Moenie
begin.
vra,
No,
friend.
it's true.
Moenie stories
Moenie-
begin.
The only thing that was built is just that stadium there by Soccer House.
No, really,
It's
no,
all.
it's.
But if you see the actual plans that they had, the actual plans was even to renovate the Sam Nujoma Stadium, to use that entire area there behind the Katutura Magistrates Court, turn it into like sort of sportsmen's quarters or something with gyms and everything. Ek ken nie of FIFA eintlik daai hele geld gegee het of nie, maar
And I'm sure, okay, you were lucky, maybe you went to school with him, but like, I mean, even you and I, if you think about it, in our schooling career, there was always that special kid that you were like, oof, like if that kid just got,
yes,
that's, I mean, we all knew a Frankie, like in our schooling.
Golden Karutswa.
Yeah, you were just like, you. Yeah, we all knew one, and I'm sure all the commentators as well. Like, everybody knew.
The next Frank.
The next. You were just, and it didn't have to be in athletics, by the way. It could have been in any other sports code, but there was always that special child in school that you just knew, like, with the right training, being picked up with the right support, and that kid
This guy
would
can go
elevate.
far.
And a lot of times, if you look at them now, they're nowhere. They actually don't even.
Yeah, they didn't even make a semi-professional career of it.
They're not even athletic, even in stature anymore.
Yes.
It's sad.
It's so true, guys. But you know what? There's another element. There's a social element to sport that is also, I think, it just brings us to a point where we need to understand what the social impact is also of what happens in our communities. With my son is 15 years old. There's this Nama boy who would play, I wouldn't mention his name, who would play for another team, a Katatura-based team. And my son started playing for SKV when he was 5 years old. He's under 17 now.
Wow.
This other boy played for another Karatura-based team. Guys, the skill level is a klein namaiki, but the skill level is this high.
His technical ability.
And then you start speaking to people around this boy, and you hear the conditions this boy lives in Katatura, where he does not have a household of his own. Tonight he sleeps with Maria. Tomorrow night he sleeps at your house.
He might not even have shoes.
He doesn't have shoes. Die mannetjie kom met een tekkie en een tok, een sokkie, but hy sal julle uit mekaar uitspeel. So this that you're talking about, this team around someone is just not there. Kort voorlang nou begin hoor jy die leidetjie hy rook. Daar's 'n kwaai. Dan later hy hang voor die shops. Hulle bep, hulle sit met 'n bottel kobosa daarso. And it just continue in our communities because the support system is not there.
Imagine you had like a sporting academy, and what you actually do is schools are required to identify stars. I mean, at grassroots levels. And then it's a hostel, it's a facility. It doesn't have to be in it. It has to be out there, and they have their academics, but then they also focus on training and sports and nutrition, and because it's everything, right? And just get them like grooming. So from, let's say, grade 1 to grade, even up to grade 12, but like you have it from just schools identifying real raw talent to go there, and they have their classes, and then the rest of their time they're just working on this like real potential, and it should be fully funded because it should be accessible to like if you identified and you qualify, it's for free. You fully funded.
I mean, if you have the talent,
elite.
it's almost like a scholarship.
It's like
basically.
you get a scholarship, but it should be very elite, like very prestige, very elite. And it should be. Imagine something like that.
Like right now, I know Escavia has a sort of an academy. I think Ramblers also has an academy.
It's very elitist as well.
But I don't think there are many other clubs.
It's very elitist.
It's very elitist. That's a problem with these clubs.
The kids we can't. Sorry to interrupt you, Cubase, but it's true what Maria is saying. For instance, at our club, when we came to Escavia, it was a super lily white German club.
Yes.
But the black talent starts coming through at Escavia and Ramblers. So the demographics of the clubs look completely different. Black players. What do we struggle with at the club?
Funding.
The kids can't afford the annual membership fees.
Yes.
So every time we will get a message from the club's management, Jalisa fees is outstanding. We can't assemble a team for the weekend because your fees are outstanding, your fees are outstanding, your fees. And it's not that people don't want to pay.
People can't afford
Die mense kan nie bekostig nie.
Maar like if you have somebody playing in the academy, shouldn't the club be the ones paying you? Who work on the system?
But
it's
other way around. It's yeah.
This is
not
not
professional.
It's amateur. It's amateur football.
Yeah.
So basically, you're paying for the training of your boy.
Yes,
I
pay for it.
Sporting in this country is just. I mean, if you want to elevate, it's just very elitist, and this is unfortunate because. The unfortunate part with all of it is when I say unfortunate, it's like a lot of the raw talent is people that don't have the means. Because like a lot of these kids, that's all they do all the time. Like whatever sports is, they take the time to develop it, you know. So they've got that time, but they don't have the support systems. And it's like I was talking to this lady, and I mean, her kids are just, I mean, apart from being academically gifted, the kids are also like naturally athletically gifted. And she was telling me, like, for example, her son has started golf now, and she's playing with golf, but there's no kids under a certain age cannot play competitively golf. So she's had to enroll in another academy, a South African academy, for her son to be able to compete. Because he's young, he's got talent, he should be competing already at a young age. But even that is because she's got the means. I mean, it's a child at St. Paul's, so her parents are quite affluent. The parents can afford it and enroll in a South African academy for golf so that the son can play, compete. So he trains here, but he competes in SA. But, I mean, on a Namibian front, who can afford to do that? Pay membership fees to South Africa and then fly your child there just to compete.
I mean, we only have 2 golf courses in Namibia. So.
I mean, in all fairness, it's actually really one. Like the other one is in a state.
The only 2 black golfers that we have in the country at the moment is Maria and Ronika Nalelo. It's the only 2 that we have. So I don't know. I think when it comes to the prospect of golfing, we're not going to go very far. But just to add, Colin Benjamin, former Brave Warrior player. Colin is one of the guys who spent so much time and invest so much in youth football through sponsoring the Hopsol Cup and the Hopsol League, etc. If I would speak to Colin would speak with so much passion about high performance centers in Germany where he played his professional football. Say never my broer, weet jy, as jy daar kom en jy, you know, the amount of training and the facilities daar in Bremen of waar ek was of hy in Chikudu goede. These guys were exposed to high tech. High tech stuff. And it's stuff that we don't have.
I mean, if you don't even have to go, I mean, what is really, if you look, even like I said, like, I mean, we're using this example, but even Frankie's success, why is it? It's because he's trained in the USA. Do you really think he would have gotten a silver medal in the Olympics if he had not gone to USA? I mean, the likelihood is no.
Is that Zalimos who trained him in Van Niekerk? What is Zali's name?
Ek wil nie oor daai Zali praat. Wat
is Zali? Is that?
Yes, Anna Zali.
Wait, you remember Wade Van Niekerk? won
Oh,
the
yeah,
200
yeah,
meter
yeah,
gold.
yeah.
His trainer was also involved in Frankie's training at
Is
a
it?
age or something of that nature, or so we heard. Unconfirmed.
Unconfirmed. Yeah, anyway, so...
Frankie so hardloop het kan.
No, I'm saying he wouldn't have reached that level.
Yeah. Frankie, ne?
Yeah.
Oh,
Ja, maar all Frankie had to do was stay in Katutura.
Die
Hij had hem
ro-
rondgejaagd
but
waar
I
hij
mean,
leert.
but even in interviews, I mean, I've heard him say that it was a timing issue. Like he was lucky that Namibia got independence in the 90s, because if it had gotten sooner, he wouldn't have been ready for it. And if he had gotten it later, he would have missed it because of his age. So it was like, for him, it was like the dark lining. But also he was lucky that by the time independence came, he had that, I think was a 2 or 3 year gap already in the USA, already competing.
Yeah, 87, 88,
Yeah, because
89.
there he learned new skills. So even he admits to it. I'm just saying that we need to just raise the bar for our athletes a little bit, and more than anything, really the support.
We've mentioned this high performance center, Neville, even when we were talking about rugby earlier on in the year. Before COVID, like there is a serious need. Even I mean, we were complaining about how some of the Namibian-born players end up playing for the Springboks because most of them move that side because it's much better for their training and their development and all, and they end up playing for the South African national team.
Yeah, the Stormers. When I used to go to the gym in the morning, the Stormers, the guys that Stormers in
It's
Cape
the
Town,
Stormers in Cape Town.
they were always in the gym.
Yeah.
Morning till, like, I would go there in the morning, if I was training in the afternoon, I would still find them there. Like in the gym all the time.
Like professional sports, right? It's a job like basically what we do here. 8 to 5, you are busy.
8 to 5.
You are either training or you are playing, and it's not even 8 to 5. Most of the times, it's like up until sometime in the evening because you get gaps during the day, of course. But you come to Simon, as you say.
Yeah, talk about that. I mean, my daughter has been for more than 2 years. She's been the top junior player in the country for age group. This year, her obviously her results was a bit fluctuating. She would win this one tournament, she would play it in the finals of that tournament, etc., etc. And last year when we were in Cape Town, and she took part in the first international tournament there, and you could see the level
of the other team.
of tennis in South Africa. And you start speaking to these juniors. My daughter trains 2 hours a day. Those kids train 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
Her same age.
Yeah.
And
You
I'm
just
like,
realize it's not a fair playing ground.
Yeah.
so and it's not just the time. I'm like, I'm already paying so
Too
much for
for
tennis.
those 2 hours.
For those 2 hours. It's somebody's salary that I'm paying for my daughter to play tennis. I don't know if she's going to take it professional. Obviously, every parent thinks that my child is the smartest, the fastest, most intelligent.
No, my child is not the fastest.
Until you get a rude awakening as to what life and the world is out there. So I need to find a sponsor now to say, Leicester, my child can only, this is only what I can pay.
Yeah.
Can you help here? That's just how it goes.
Yeah. Then it's unfortunate. It's really
It's
it shouldn't be like that
Shouldn't be like that.
at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's my soul.
Sports in Namibia.
Here's your comments.
Anyway, back to the Brave Warriors. There's still hopes of us qualifying if we win our remaining 2 matches, and of course Guinea-Bissau loses both of their matches. We still have to play Guinea-Bissau. I'm not sure if we are playing them at home, or I think we're playing Chad away and Guinea-Bissau at home. But in any case, so if we can win those 2 and Guinea loses both their matches, we might be at the Africa Cup of Nations. Neville, I wanted to tell you there was a funny incident about in the 70th minute or so. So I don't know what the incident was, but I see the Mali guys. Again, he's bent over, man. So the Namibia guy is standing there trying to talk to him. Bro, he's like, sorry, mommy, bro, you know, that kind of situation. And then the guy stands up, and the Namibian guy tries to hug him. And he makes.
Maybe it was
No,
also
what is it?
starstruck.
Hey, los daai goed op die einde van die game, bro. Kom ons shake tenminste aan of die elbow.
it's
Come on, hug. All right, anyway.
No story, man.
Let's keep it moving. We didn't even touch on coronavirus today. But there is some news to report, of course, so we have to. 13,566, that is the total caseload since the outbreak of the pandemic. We experienced 2 further deaths yesterday, bringing the total death toll to 140. 13,140 recoveries as well. Our active cases, get this, went from 574 to 286.
Whoa. Preparing for December.
December.
In just about 5 days, we've gone from 1,400 to 200, about 300. So the recovery rate is really high at this point.
Luister, summer.
Summer tijd.
Corona turned a year yesterday.
Hoor vir shades.
Shines alsjeblieft.
So yesterday officially.
You want to sing happy birthday? Now come and sing happy birthday. Shines is saying Corona turned a year yesterday. Okay, now come and sing. Come and sing for Corona.
So, for everybody out there, Shines just reminded us Corona turned a year. Yesterday. Corona is officially a year old. Wat was gister? 16? 17. 17th of November 2019. Yeah, COVID-19. Yeah. So, happy birthday to Corona. You lila katang.
So yesterday officially marked 5 years since 2020.
Yeah.
Been a very long time with this corona around. All right, guys.
Now read some comments and then we move on to the topic of the day.
Oh, that's the veel comments. Because we haven't even read one.
Ek is baie happy daar's te veel comments. Because it seems like, and I hope this is about what we are discussing today. Because we all need to be very passionate about the state of sport and development
in this country.
In our country.
Let's find out what happened to the money from
Even
FIFA.
Mary is interested.
Josephson Nanyemba.
We know.
What was the reason Manetti and Ronnie had to leave again? Politics or what?
Okay, lees maar net aan.
Let's not comment. Take for Ronnie laat even jou kom aan.
Ja, Ronnie kom antwoord hierso.
Ja, kom antwoord Ronnie.
My bro, jy kan nie vir Ronnie uitspeel nie. Daai man sou met 'n panga daarop getag het. So I'm sure it was legal. Estomich, former soccer players can assist with the training, especially for the youth. Most male parents here do it. Parents get involved with selling food at the tournaments, kiosk. Money is the problem there, and motivation. Yeah, most Norwegian soccer fields are artificial grass, and we have great players in big teams across Europe. Maybe artificial grass is some areas, or in some areas, would help there as well. It would work, but I guess it's easier to maintain than the
natural
pitch.
Grass.
Yeah, the natural grass, but it is also more expensive to put in, I think. Daai artificial grass is glad nie goedkoop nie. Happy birthday to Corona. Come on, Corona, then a year old. Wambo Beach sal vanjaar vol wees met die caseload wat afkom. Where's Wambo Beach? Oh, in Belfast, ne? I forgot. Morning Mix crew.
Beach.
I want to know how the so-called man of God Bushiri left the country. Did he even leave the country?
Okay.
Yeah, there's one Bushiri in South Africa and one Bushiri in Malawi. Braji Gontep, special talent possessed by anyone eventually disappears once you get the taste of the forbidden fruit. That's always the downfall of every perfect gift.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Once you get a taste of the forbidden fruit. I don't know if you're talking about sex or alcohol or drugs. I guess either one could be a contributing factor.
But just to add to that, apparently, like sports development, the problem is not the ages when they're in school, because there it's easy.
Yeah.
When they have to go to tertiary institutions.
Krap. Come on. Krap is zo. Krap, Maria, alsjeblieft.
Kom op.
Wat moet ek maak?
Meneer krijgt krampen hier zo in de studio, maar die go.
Okay, so apparently the challenge is after 18, because these people then have to either go to tertiary institutions or they have to get jobs.
Yes.
To, you can't focus on just
you're not in school anymore.
You're not in school anymore. So I mean, there's expectations from your parents, from your community to like get a job or go study and start working. and bring the bacon home, and that's when it becomes challenging. That's what I'm saying. Well, that's where they yes, and it dives. Anyway, Ronnie just answered why he left.
Wie het jou gevra?
He said.
Wie het jou gevra? As jy nie gevra nie.
He said, I think his contract. He said his contract ended and it wasn't renewed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I left my position and Menetti's contract was not renewed. Or he left his position, Menetti's contract was not renewed.
All right. He's also saying you guys in the studio are touching on a lot of dynamics, and I agree 100% with what you are raising. In my opinion, the emphasis must be on coaching education. We should train coaches in our communities so that players who can't afford academy fees in Olympia has access to proper coaching in the comfort of their neighborhoods.
And then those coaches must be paid by the ministry, and that's an actual job.
Because
how do you coach if you're also not eating?
I don't think we have like a. I mean,
is it Ronnie wat hy gesê het?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some countries, right, have like almost coming from what would be the equivalent of the Ministry of Sports here or the Sports Commission, where they have like a set goal. Let's say, for instance, we want to get the team to the World Cup 2028 or whatever. I don't know. So you start doing the groundwork now. So they put the coaches in place, they put the coaching in place, the scouting systems, and you try and develop the talent from a young age. So like in 8, 9, 10 years, you have a team that have been together for long enough and that can actually go and compete at an international stage.
Talking about that, I think it was about 2 years ago, I had a discussion with the marketing manager of Standard Bank, Maggie Mengo. Now she's a national hockey player.
Yeah.
And I think 2018 was the World Cup hockey or something like that. Hey, Maggie goed is uit mekaar het geslat.
Now imagine somebody that works at Standard Bank,
Yeah.
but is the national.
Yeah.
Yes, I think she was even captain.
She's the
of
captain.
The captain.
national
That's what
team,
she's the
yes.
national. She's the national. Yeah, the captain of the national team. I don't know if is she still.
She still plays,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
No, before she. I'm asking Maggie because Modebruka, we wanted to have Maggie in the studio to come and talk about hockey.
Yeah.
Yes.
And because of a schedule, she could never come. I'm having this telephonic discussion with Maggie one day. I say, my sister, nou, wat het gebeur? Maggie's like, Neville, toch. You know the world champion. I can't remember who the team was.
Yeah.
Neville, this team assembled in February. The World Cup is in December.
Yes.
That team assembled
In February.
in February. Left their jobs, everything. It's a European team. They've been die mense is saam Neville vir die hele jaar. Hulle
Selling the whole year.
Hulle eet saam, hulle
hang
slap saam, hulle oefen saam. Ons het nou 3 weke gelede, before the tournament started, toe kom ek van Sanderbang af. Maria het hier van Informanté af gekom. Toe gaan speel ons hockey.
Yeah.
And that is what you're talking about.
Yes. We have to have a cohesive plan. Even if we want to win another gold medal, we have to start doing at the Olympics. We have to start doing the groundwork now.
But it's almost a joke. Look at how much the sports ministry gets. It's one of the lower funded or budgeted for ministries.
Yes.
Ne?
Yes, it's at the bottom. At that time, it even used to be youth and sports.
Yes.
And it was just bottom.
We need a new minister of
yeah,
sports.
defense is getting way more and there are no wars. I'm telling you, it's a joke. Like some countries where where sports is an actual thing, sports ministry is like one of the top 5 budgeted for. They get the highest budgets in those countries because they know that sports development is not cheap. And maintaining and staying at the top is not cheap.
Yeah.
Because you need to invest in it. On the government, it's, I think, second...
What's the government?
Third or lowest budgeted for.
Of course, like I mean, for
the government,
it's probably even in the initial stages that they would really have to put up a lot of the funding, because at the end of the day, I mean, sports is it's a multi-million-dollar business, multi-billion-dollar business the world over, right? So what you need to do is just create the environment for even clubs to be able to make money.
Who's the sports minister?
Then you see things like academies popping up in Katutura.
Is it not Meme Agnes?
Yeah, you know. See, bye-bye, once again.
Yeah, Meme Agnes is the
A lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
Who's Meme Agnes?
Sydney.
Chongarero.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
At least she has some athletic background.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then if you enable clubs and sportsmen to make money, to make a living off of their sportsmanship or through whether it's rugby or
talent,
football or basketball or whatever, then it at some point you don't have to fund because they spring up as businesses. Places like clubs like what is Laval's Hispanic?
Swallows.
Yeah, like Swallows. So who can sponsorship create because somebody knows all I need to do is just put a little bit of money and develop this club and they will be able to win things and bring back that money in twinfold. But yeah, ons sit met die situation waar ons sit kom. Met my Agnes, sy moet nog haar sokkies begin optrek. Otherwise,
She just got in this year. I mean, it used to be Utoni.
Erastus
Utoni.
Okay,
she
now.
just got it now. Yeah.
And so we do not want the fate of Doreen to befall her. So sy moet net regkom. Bradley Kubisep, I think development is going to be a recurring sentiment in the success of any athlete, right? Imagine NPL was or is still closed for about 2 years, probably even 3. Now, how on earth can players deliver good results? Football, like anything, works with money. Our development structures in Namibia, non-existent. One can see the lack of development in our national team players. Some can't even run with the ball. Basics, so really development should be the first thing we get right. Looking at the likes of Brazil, you find a football pitch in every corner of the hood. This keeps the kids out of gangs and stuff, yet it gives the opportunity to become stars. Like, Ronaldinho het straatvoetbal gespeeld. Hulle het hom op die straat gaan gekry.
They're actually investing in the development in Brazil. It's crazy.
Now, I'm sorry that I need to mention the name of this country on this platform, and I'm very, very sorry.
Botswana. No?
Yeah, nee, laat hulle gaan. Iceland.
Oh.
A population smaller than Namibia goes to a world stage of the Soccer World Cup and beat teams like England, Norway, Germany, Argentina. They go and beat them handsomely. If you go and look at the structures from grassroots level, what they do in a country like Iceland, they take our fish money. Okay.
I was about to joke about that.
Yeah.
Bringing it in.
Yeah, they take our fish rod money. They invest it in their communities. Because apparently what your normal man on the street invests into his local club.
Yeah.
They would come at a pub in Iceland, Miskin 067. You don't come there unless you support the club.
Yeah.
You will invest money into this club for football development. That is what they do.
The communities get behind
The communities
the
get
clubs,
behind the teams.
I mean, like we have spoken about this. Where do you even buy local sports merchandise? Waar kry ek 'n Welwitches t-shirt? Waar kry ek 'n Civics of a Tura Magic t-shirt?
Pura.
By Peppa. Hey, sick J man.
No.
No, they don't stock those things, and those things make even these international clubs. It's also a large part of their revenue stream, the merchandising that they sell. That's why these guys keep changing the kits every season. Like elke jaar 'n nuwe ene moet koop.
Maar ek wil net vra byvoorbeeld, and it's probably a question that I'm like asking, saying to a guy like Ronnie now, who's there, who's watching the stream now. Cubase, the time of Ronnie and Kado and Lolo and Mohamed Osep and Robert Nosep, Elifa Shivute, that era, the talent and the success was so big in 97, 98, 99 that I was proud to go and buy a Brave Warrior shirt. it was a no-brainer. I would just go and say, who can you need a brave warrior shit it? Huh? And you could hear the kids in Katatura identify as die lady straat soccer speel. Ah, ek is keeper. Ek is keeper. Ek is Ronnie Canalelo. Ek is Ronnie Canalelo.
Yeah.
Okay, Jay's Cado, Jay's Dasso, Jay's center midfield, creative. Okay, ek is Mohamed Osep. I'm here at the back. I don't think I hear kids talk like that today about our national team players.
We don't know the guys in the national
We
team.
don't even know their names.
You guys want to cry?
Yesterday I was looking for Wangu Gome the whole time. I don't even know if he's even still playing football.
Ronnie, wat het julle gemaak that the brand, except for the success on the pitch that you guys did, that sort of reverberated so well within our communities?
Okay, quickly, I just wanted to find out the 2010-21 financial, like the budget this year. So it says for the 2010-21 financial year, the Ministry now Sports, right, was allocated a total budget of more than 306 million, which is almost 20 million increase from the 286 million it received in the preceding year, okay? From the Ministry's 306 million overall budget, the Directorate of Sports has been apportioned a total 42,204.
42,000. I Maria loop speel.
Ek sê dan vir jou. That's one person's salary. And then the next article, you see that the ministry saying ministry not happy with meager sports budget.
Jason, dis hoekom mense gaan geld steel, nee. Rather go and get into corruption.
Yeah.
To enhance your own family, your own position. Because money doesn't filter down for development.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's earmarked for development, but it never really gets there. Evaporates somewhere along in the corridors.
Oh, it's not 40. It looked 42 when I opened the article. It's 42 million.
Is it 42 million?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, oh, that's okay. It's 42 million.
Okay, but Maria, even 42 million.
No, it's
let's break 42 million in how many sporting codes that we have in our country.
Yeah.
We're traveling, accommodation, facilities,
that is crazy.
Meals, etc.
We have
all the sports code. You need to consider all the sports code.
National cricket team, I don't know how many there are.
Rugby.
National rugby team, I think about 20 something players that travel.
Yes.
Soccer, about 21, 22, 23 players that travel. National football team. Netball team.
But don't even go far. So it's like, so the 306 million overall budget, the Directorate of Sports now gets the a little bit over 42 million, right, for the financial year. And then out of that 42, only 10.6 million of that amount will be going to the NSC. That's the Namibia Sports Commission.
Yeah.
So Namibia Sports Commission only gets 10 million. 10.6.
Of which maybe even half is for salaries and 5 is for development. I'm just speculating.
And that's apparently a 4 million increase for the 6 million the commission received the previous year. Imagine guys, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Look, leadership does not really consider. I do not want, but for lack of a better word, I guess I can just say they don't take sports seriously.
No.
And they don't take arts and sports and these things. They don't take them seriously. That's why it doesn't seem like they're even interested in really investing in these industries. Anyway, comments lees maar bietjie van die comments is so Denzel Spiegel, the only sport in Namibia is to study to pass your grades even if you are not book smart. Go to school to embarrass yourself because your parents will not give you food at home if you talk about I am a sportsman.
Aye.
Sportsman, sportsman waar? Yeah. Imagine, come on, I want to be a basketball player. On which basketball court are you going to play? Ronnie is saying, I have done that for a very long time and I even took a pay cut to come coach in Namibia. He's replying to an earlier comment. Varsho. Denzel is saying, come at the merchandise, you buy them from them, but you have to DM them for prices.
Och nee.
Black business.
So as ook weer is 'n ander Grina weer. Oh,
DM for prices.
Grina lene hier.
Zet net die prijs op.
Oh.
Laat ons almal kan sien. Nou sê jy vir my is 300, sê jy vir Neville is 800. Stefan is saying, try telling your parents you want to be an artist. Yes, sis.
Ja, nee.
Ja. Oh.
Ja.
Ik
moet you say, Ronnie, I can't remember which cup final that was. You were in goals for Sundowns, and Mohammed and Robert was obviously playing for Chiefs. Now I'm a Naturena. I'm a Chiefs supporter, and we had both. I mean, we had Namibians who were plying their trade in South Africa in two very strong teams. But I'm telling you that specific day, Ronnie, ek was teen jou gewees, laat jy maar net weet. So,
jy's ook 'n Chiefs fan, nee.
Ek is Chiefs, and I mean Mohammed, when it comes to open play, Mohammed Osep has always been my favorite Namibian footballer in history of Namibian soccer.
Is it?
I remember this time way back in the 90s when I saw this guy, his skill. I think we played this match against, I think it was Tunisia. He even scored that day against Tunisia. And it was, those years it was, man, jy kan wie wees. You can come to Namibia. Ons sal julle wys.
We'll give you a match.
Ons sal jou gee.
Yes.
Let's go, and then I want to quickly just read this out. Like, it's going to be very quick, but it's
He also answered your question. He says the talent of 1990 to 2000 was pre-apartheid material. Now go back and see where development started. Street football, which is non-existent now because of lack of safety, no playing parks, school soccer, club reserve teams, etc. Sommige van die goede is nog nie meer daar nie. Like, do people still play? Is daar nog school soccer goede? We had like a national league when I was in high school. I remember winning that league in one year.
Nee?
I don't remember here. I can't think of hearing anything since I left school.
Yeah, I just want to say the Minister of Sports, Youth and National Service. So it's 3 directorates, by the way. Okay. Agnes Chongara lamented that her ministry always receives the crumbs of the cake. This is, by the way, this was reported in June. Always receives the crumbs of the cake when it comes to the national budget allocation. Chongara told Nampa that for the Ministry of Sports, Youth and National Service to operate efficiently, they will need more than 3 billion, which is a far cry from the 306 million the ministry was allocated, from the 72.8 billion 2010-21 national budget tabled by the finance minister, Ipumbu Shimyonsa. So they tabled that, but they only got 300. That was the 72.8 was the budget, the entire budget. Anyway, and then she says the 306 million is an 18.6 million increase from the 288.3 million apportioned to the ministry the preceding financial year. So there was an increase of 18.6. All right, but and then she says Changara said that when the country had an abundance of funds, the ministry still got the crumbs, which is why she did not have high expectations. And then she's quoted saying, at the moment, Namibia cannot host international games because we do not have stadiums that are international standard. And to build those stadiums, we need a lot of money. And then she goes on to say, if you compare food and sports, you will take foods. This is why you find housing, health, education, defense, and agriculture always getting the chunk of the budget. And then she compares us to Kenya. She says Kenya doesn't have... she says, what we need to do is reprioritize our sports. Look at countries like Kenya. They have a bigger population, but they don't have as many sport codes as we do. This is why we need to look at the angle and see how well to use the money we have got. And then they interviewed Bernardo Swartboy, who expressed disappointment. I mean, he expressed disappointment in this ministry getting such little amount, allocated a small budget. And then he says, he's quoted saying, you are talking of youth empowerment, but you are not empowering the youth. How does one expect to develop or empower the youth when you give them 306 million, which should be shared amongst 3 directorates, and all of it will be used up for salaries? Because the civil bill is also
civil wage bill
civil wage bill is also very high.
So it's only 10% that budget is only 10% what is actually needed to develop sport in Namibia. If you say, Meme Ekna says, we need 3 billion, and we only get 300 million, it's probably roughly 10% of we're only operating at 10% of our capacity.
It's like, we need 3 billion. What are we going to do with the 3 billion? Is there like a cohesive plan of what we want to do with that money?
Yeah, she's talking about, because Namibia also has a lot of sports courts. So it's developing the sports courts, but also they need stadiums. So like even with that money that they have, they're talking, I didn't read the full article, I was just taking quotes, but it also talks about, some of the planned activities include, for example, the construction of a Nana Sports Complex, construction of the ministerial headquarters, the Swakopmund Multipurpose Youth Resource Center, and the Franz and Dimbare Integral Rural Youth Development Center in the Kavango East region. And that's another thing. We don't have youth centers anymore. I remember growing up, and it's now a white elephant. But we used to have a youth center in Oshakati.
Because I was about to say, it's also not just constructing, it's maintenance as well.
Yes, maintenance. And that's why it's a white, because it wasn't maintained.
Yes.
But we know youth centers also help with the youth activities, whether it's choir, whether it's dancing, whether we practiced, when I was playing karate, we practiced our karate there as well. There were all this, but the youth center was used for all these youth activities.
Yeah.
And now...
Like they said about the stadiums in Brazil, it keeps the kids off the streets.
It does.
Because there's something else that you can keep yourself busy with.
Keep the kids busy, otherwise they're going to turn to alcohol and turn to the streets. Keep the kids busy, but like in a very productive way, so that they can. And I think here, like you said, we concentrate too much on like academics and food and whatever. But what about the kids that are not academically gifted?
Yes.
But are sports gifted?
Some people have talents which do not necessarily tie into academics.
Talent.
Yes, yeah.
Athletic talent, but we neglect the athletic talent. But there's also money there if we just invest.
It's not what you can do. Do you know geography? That is the question. Can you understand those latitudes and longitudes?
The comments.
Sorry, ek wou net die artikel gelees het, maar ek is mos nou. Choopstel, lees the comments. I say this is the topic of the day.
No, it is the topic of the day.
It's an important topic.
It's an important topic.
Brianna Roxy Haradois, I was sent a video now, very horrific, and said, make me cry. If you want to see that, send me the number. I will send it to you.
We don't want to see
Why
it.
would you want to share something that made you
Don't
cry?
share it. If it's something about somebody bodies strewn all over the place, if it has to do with that accident that happened 2-3 weeks
the
ago.
fishermen, apparently the bodies were, the pictures of their bodies shot.
What fishermen?
It's
okay.
It's circulating on
If
social
you
media in
see
Botswana.
that, let's dignify the bodies and have respect for the families and not resending stuff like that.
Respect black bodies, please.
Yeah.
Because those ones are the ones that we see all the time being circulated. Respect black bodies.
Ek het nou amper iets gesê.
Yeah.
Asino Maria, please check how much the ministry took back to the treasury.
They didn't take back anything.
Oh, okay. We have those things where the ministries, we didn't get back, we didn't get enough money, and then at the end of the year, no, we didn't use this, you can have it back.
I think that was the education minister, but they were criticized severely. No, but the Ministry of Sports is not known for sending money back to the treasury.
Yeah. Sports is just about Windhoek now, basically. It's where everything happens. Liva Hiskia is saying this bundle of joys are only into social media and don't care about sports. I can tell you one of the reasons why. It's because they're even able to make money on social media. Sports, you guys, like there's no return.
I have a better chance of making money as an influencer on Instagram than I do off of my raw talent as a golf player.
I wasn't laughing at your talent.
Hi, Maria.
Yeah. The Denzel is saying the thing is institutions are afraid to make bad investments, right? Imagine building a huge stadium in a country where sports is inactive. And if there are games, people don't show up. There is a lack of support from various sides. FNB built a huge stadium in South Africa. They got their investment back. They built the huge stadium only for the World Cup because they knew, obviously, there was going to be an influx of people during the tournament.
It also doesn't help. What you actually need is like PPPs, like for this construction of this stadiums, because you also need the either town councils or, like in our case, the city of Windhoek to maintain, because maintenance is a big part of it. And in the absence of that, you can't expect an institution like, for example, FNB here in Namibia or Standard Bank or these big companies to continue the maintenance of. And also, they're looking at bottom line.
How many clubs, sports clubs, whether, and I'm not just talking about football or rugby, which are probably two of the most popular sports in Namibia, but how many clubs are actually run like businesses?
Yeah. Those that try, but you can't really pay salaries and
where you are making sure that your expenditure does not exceed your income, and you try and create new revenue streams for the business to keep it running.
It's not easy.
Yeah, of course it's not easy in an environment that doesn't really allow you to.
I was reading, I think, an interview with Ranga. Was it Ranga Haikali? He owns a sports club, right? I think it was some years ago. He was just saying, like, they even struggle to just pay the players.
Yes.
Because there's no...
Like Africa.
Yes, but then you guys have no presence, right? How am I supposed to know, like, even when Black Africa is playing? Unless I'm hearing it from word of mouth from here. Like, these guys, they have no presence in the media. They have no presence anyway. It's like, you want me to come to the match? How? To go come watch who? I don't even know one of your players' names. I don't even know what the Black Africa kid looks like for the last season, not even this season. And I'm sorry, Black Africa fans, we're just using you as an example.
I've never gone to any soccer game.
Locally. Like, honestly,
Never.
The last time I watched local football was when we still had Prime Press Liverpool and Okahanya. Can you imagine? I think that club was sold to Escavia ages ago.
But then I have to worry about my car getting broken in. No, I don't need that stress. All I'm saying.
It reads a Volkswagen Polo. They just take the badge.
Yeah, wie het a Volkswagen Polo?
Sorry. Audi, sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
Come on, trying to steal the Audi.
Yes, the comments. That's why I'm quiet.
I don't know van mensen se GTI is gebruik.
Dante Ilobu just is saying rugby gets full though. Rugby matches. Nee, want die boere ondersteun mekaar. Ja, hulle ondersteun hulle kinders. You will have like your brother and your cousin in the team, and you won't even want to go watch. Dis ons daar. Is like, wat is soccer goed hè. Ek gaan kyk van Manchester United by Big Skowers. Yeah. Cubase and Meria, that is the mindset we are talking about.
No, that we are talking about. Us not going to support. Yeah, we just admitted that we need to support our sports. Then we admitted that we don't go watch.
Yes, like how am I going to go watch? Because I don't even know what is happening.
You need to capture my interest. How do you capture the interest of the people? Because that's ultimately where the criticism, that was Cubase's criticism. Yes. Like, how do you advertise? How do people know that games are happening? How do you captivate the fans and get them to come?
Guy, our league, even during the time that I'm talking about, we were signing players from Zambia and Angola and you know, bringing in players from outside because our league, there was a standard there. You know, I don't want to say the standard has dropped because I haven't really watched local football since then, but I mean, the facts kind of speak for themselves. Anyway, Janice Tobias, rugby gets full because Hage Geingob Stadium is fair.
Hage Stadium is most the ene waar in Olympia is.
Yes.
Yeah. Nee, die raak vol. And at least that one I also feel a bit safe met mekaar.
That's what Janice is saying. That's the whole point with it's fair. The problem ones cannot reach. Avondre, we want to watch African Stars versus Black Africa, and we went to watch. Pardon me. We went to watch African Stars versus Black Africa, and everything that is metal and shines on that bakkie got stolen live.
That's. I mean, I was joking with a friend. I said, "Would you have gone if they were allowing spectators? Would you have gone and watched the Mali Namibia game?" He said, and that dollar. Problem. They take money and.
Yeah.
When they were building Sam Nujoma Stadium, that was before it was even finished. When they, turning it into what it is now. Like, madai lokasi.
It's really lokasi to Gadi.
Kan nou nie even daar zo'n kommasdal gesit. Jy kan die bietjie neutral grounds.
Ja.
Oeh, dollam. Dan moet ek tenminste met dollam mense gaan hang daar, so laat ek bietjie on the safe side wees.
Funny enough, though, and I would walk down there in that street.
Yeah.
Because my late aunt's house, the Damara side of my family, is very close to the stadium. So that's alles daarvan. We will walk from there up to the stadium, and it's a good 400-meter walk.
Yeah.
So along the way, so. But not everybody is as comfortable as I am, in an environment like that.
Yeah.
And the fears of people are justified. Ek sal nie streen nie.
Jou kar word ingehaal.
Yeah, kyk, as much as I will defend Dolamp in that area, with my life, but truth is truth.
The facts are the facts.
The facts are the facts. As jy Dolamp toe gaan,
Jy sal moet vas staan.
Don't leave anything in your boot.
Stand fast.
Stand fast.
Hoor hierheen. Don't even leave anything
really,
in your
my
boot.
friend's camera, a journalist, one of our journalists went there to go cover that. The camera was hostile.
Uit die boot uit.
Kurwa. It was Ailey that always used to give you a
Nee?
sports update. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dollam me, bro. As ons jou moet jag, ons sal seer maak.
Ja.
Stand vast.
Stand vast.
Dat jy dis goed aantrek en dis skoene uit.
Yes, can I outrun them? But if I try to run and they catch me, I'm in bigger trouble. But if I stand, I'm also in trouble. Yeah, hoe maak ek nou?
Dollam is nie maklik.
Dis maklik hier, bro.
Yeah.
Dollam.
Dante Lovu just Escavia. Okay, no, please. I think he's replying to this comment. Why is Escavia DTS? Wie goed is DTS?
As the
Deutsche.
yeah. So it's basically a competitor.
It's a competitor. It's
okay.
But what is his question?
Escavia, DTS, Ramblers, and SFC functioning like companies. It's because they have structures and everyone has a portfolio. It's not just random people coming there to come do random things at the club.
Yeah, but Neville just told you if you can't pay Jace.
Jace 8. But you see, I guess also the fact that Neville them are paying is why they're able to do some of these things. Because, I mean, you can't imagine that they are making money from many other places.
It's elitist. It's people with money also. So it's an elitist club. These are all elitist clubs that you just mentioned.
I mean, just for your information out there, guys, this year, and this has happened to it. I mean, before every Hopsol game that we play, then there's a message on the club's WhatsApp group that says, "Listen, guys, we need to assemble a team that needs to play on Saturday."
Yes.
The majority of the club fees are outstanding. We can't allow you to play
if you are not
at least op die swakste gee net $300 of wat. In this day and age of corona, I don't know how much money people lost this year. And you can see now with even at our we would like had, I think we had like one parent meeting at the soccer club. Guys, most of us as parents, and then they address these issues of hospital. Most of the parents stand like this, out of embarrassment.
Yes.
It's not that I don't want to pay.
Zaak is nie daar nie, bro.
Ek het nie geld om te betaal nie, but my child is highly talented.
Yes.
What am I going to do? Say, you guys must invite me to the studio to continue this talk.
Wie?
Ronnie.
Jay's baie oorig.
And Dion is saying,
Ons het jou nie gevra nie.
I would also like to join.
Dion, what do you do? You are coming as what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Estomich is saying, I've said that before. Muscles will be good in the studio, Neville and Cubase. No, wil jy sê ons het die spiere nie, wat jy sien net Ronnie se spiere. Die Estonia jy sien ons hier actually.
There's this iconic picture.
But it's also not a compliment to Ronnie because it's just saying it's beauty, no brains.
Yeah,
we just want to see you.
Massa.
We're not interested in what you are going
Don't
to
come
say.
talk, just come sit here.
Yeah, just come sit here. There's when it comes to sport and physical development, etc., it's always been my thing. And a cake for Ronnie. We the same age. We both going to turn 50 next year. And I think proudly we've tried to do a lot to try and maintain, a healthy lifestyle. And there's this iconic picture of Ronnie standing on the side of the pitch like this. But I think he's directing proceedings.
We also have listeners. Explain to how he's standing.
He's pointing.
Yeah, Ronnie stands so.
No, I mean the listeners can only see me.
Huh?
This what you can see.
Get
Get
on the stream.
He's got his left hand on his hip.
And it's pointing.
And it's pointing.
Jy moet hy van sy arms kyk nee, soos hy daar staan nee. En hy wys net so. Very, very iconic picture. And
you guys use iconic too loosely, but okay.
Maar he's a groot, like he's physically is a baie
is 'n groot chimbundu daai.
Ons moes jou eintlik Ami toe gestuur het.
Ja, hoekom het jy nooit Ami toe? We have Botswana problems here, Ronnie. Musquet.
Hy is al mooi gepas het in die Special Field Force uniform.
Ja. Troops.
Die panga.
Ja.
Maxwell Sierra, like we're going to be talking sports this whole morning, guys. We have resigned to the fact now. I even wanted to touch on Mr. Upindi trying to appeal his conviction in the High Court. But as sports takes precedence.
It's important. We never talk about sports.
It's true. Maxwell Sierra is saying in South Africa, people have started taking cab, bus, and Ubers to stadium soccer games because going with your own car means you will find your car standing on bricks, broken windows, and everything inside stolen. And security guards will say they didn't see anything.
Yeah, and it's not just sports, by the way. It's also when they're having this performance like Beyonce. Okay, Beyonce, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, jy vat 'n Uber, taxi of a bus.
Jy dan gehoor hoe sê Maleven in die video? Yeah. There's a party in Benoni tonight. His job is coming.
So Maleven is going to Sam Nujoma Stadium.
Because his job,
Because job is job. That's what Maleven is doing.
That's now the Dollar boys when there's a soccer.
That's long job vandag mee, bro.
Let's go clean out those cars.
Yo.
And those ones trying to call their friends, hey, come pick me up the game. That's it, finished. Phone is gone.
I say it's a very popular thing in South Africa now. Sommer terwyl jy praat, just grab your phone and jump into a car and then they are off. Whoop. Yeah.
Imagine the person on the other side. Hello? Hello?
I'm not even like when I was a student. I had my earphones on and I had them on, that time it was those MP3 players.
Yes. I remember those.
I had and I had it on my side pocket of my school bag and I just said the music stopped playing. I'm like,
Ay, Maria.
Net op te gaan check. My MP3
is gone.
But I don't know who. That's the funny thing. I don't know who, how, what. The music stopped. MP3 gone.
I've seen videos of guys as big as Ronnie in South Africa who would sit at a coffee shop or restaurant.
Yeah.
They would just sit there. Daar kom so 'n maar klein kosaitjie, daar kom hardloop, he jumps over this rail. Hey, what I'm tag what hey, klein paas man, hey. What nou imani wat. Hy man lê. Hy man vat die sak. I spring hulle in die taxi. That's hulle weg.
It's that element of surprise. Actually, like there's something I wanted to tell you guys yesterday. I just forgot. So what day is today? Monday night, right? I can't ATM too. That be KFC. Now, in conversation, talking to the people in the queue, what. Nah, I come stand by the ATM. This guy never. The one's a sharp guy. Hey. This guy comes. I have my card in my hand, nee. Before I'm able to react. Hy is al klaar besig op die machine. Hy het my kaart in sy hand.
Hou op, man.
Yes. It's like, no, you see the thing is what? Like this? Yeah, put in your pin. Now I'm looking at the ATM. I'm like, no. Cancel. The card is not coming out. Cancel. I'm like, no. Where's my card? So this is the setup, right? It's the guy standing in front of you and the guy standing behind you. The end of that for us is his job is to try and get your card in his hands and clone it.
Yeah.
The one who's behind you, his job is try and check your pin.
Oh. Yeah.
But that's why it's like, set the pin in. So as I must indirect the check the end about the pin, they've already cloned the card information. You get? And then somehow, so I become suspicious. Like, I mean, I use ATMs all the time. This is not what it's supposed to ask me. It's asking me for 10 digits. My pin is 4 numbers.
Yeah.
So clearly there's some cancel. I go, security. So this guy tries to walk away. I walk after him. And then the one that was behind me is like, nee, hier is jou karkie. The karkie kom nou kama uit die machine.
Maar as jy gesoppa.
Laat my nie gaan vang. Ek check mos klaar. This is a suspicious situation. There's no way I'm putting in my pin.
Hoogland Spar. 2 years ago. Mevrou stands at the Standard Bank machine. She thinks I'm standing behind her. Same conversation. She thinks somebody or I'm standing and it's my man, ek het gedink jy staan agter my. I'm already in Spar.
Ja, is klein shop.
Ek kom uit en sê my man, my kaart is weg. Ek sê Jay is gesoppa. Jy's genok.
Cancel the card right now.
Cancel the card.
Immediately.
My broer ons bel Standard Bank hotline. Sorry mevrou, hulle het klaar R2000 getrek. Ons vra waar het hulle die R2000 getrek? Now Hoogland Spar is there on top. As you go down the engine garage, and I think there's a Woerman and Brock down there.
Yes, Pelican Square. Yeah.
There's also a Standard Bank. Hulle het die geld daar gaan getrek. Just in that space of 5 minutes or 10 minutes. What's
going on with him?
His mic, the cabling, there's something wrong with the cabling.
What is wrong with the cabling?
Trek net die draad na.
As hy met draad?
That's it.
Okay, die draad recht trek man.
Jy kan nie vir jou draad trek.
Okay,
draad self trek.
So in closing, that's just the order of the day. You can't go to soccer stadiums because
job is job, my bro.
Job is job. That's just
like,
what.
Hey, go.
That's why I'm not increasing my withdrawal.
Daily limit.
I play by 2 days, and that's all you're gonna get from me for that day.
Because at least now most of the shops have really started. You know, they have amped up their security measures. For instance, you can't swipe without an identity document. Back then, that's what they would do because they know I can't withdraw, right? Dan gaan ek Louis toe, dan gaan swipe ek vir my R20,000 se furniture. You're just like, no, you bought some stuff at Louis in Mariental. You're like, Mariental?
Oh, that happened to me.
How? Like, what stuff did I buy in Mariental? It's just your card that got cloned somewhere.
They cloned my Bank Vandu card a few years ago. And it was a time when there was still money in the country. Okay? I think close to $100,000. American Swiss Tsumep.
I don't even think I've ever had that much money in my account.
Yeah.
100,000.
No, but it was over a course period of 2 months, 3 months. American Swiss Tsumep. American Swiss Tsumep. On Dangwa Airport. Mr. Price Spot, swak op mond. Mr. Price Spot, swak op mond. But the transactions happens at the same time.
Because look, once they have, I think they call it a grabber if I'm not mistaken. It's like a buy clean dingiki. All they do is just a swipe net your karki that there. So that little machine copies all the information of your card. Now if I have that and I have your PIN, that means I can make like 10 copies of your ATM card basically. I can make 10 clones and send them all over the country. It's, yeah, that is my leven.
My leven. Continue.
Hoor Veronica Nallo. ATM space is private space. Jy kom daar, ek sot jou gogo uit.
Everything is net literally so
bad. Why is Ronnie there?
But Ronnie, like, look, like Neville was saying, hoe die klein mannetjie die groot manne kom laat leer, right?
Yeah.
It's that element of surprise because it takes you a while to actually, for it to click in. It's like, nee man.
It's a.
Yeah, it's a regi Sonny.
Wat gaan aan?
And it's like, no, the ATM werking, Nani, what. By the time it's like, hey, jong, wie het vir jou vir help gevra? So, was die security? Why are you the one trying to assist you?
Klaar.
Daar is die ding gedaan.
Klaar. Man, het gedalla. Gedalla.
Ja, die army het my seker 10 keer gereject. I even applied as a cook last time.
Wie is hy?
Lewiski. Jy kan iemand by die army gaan kookie. So sê ons maar nie weer. Ronnie sê maar jy check my swak vandag nee.
Ja, check jou swak. Ja.
Ja, ons het
Hulle eet jou gym.
Ons het gehoor jou pangas is stomp. Hulle kan net klap. I don't many comments coming in now. I will have to move back up to find some of the previous comments. But our time is also stadig maar seker coming to an end. Okay, let's do some quick hits.
Ons is klaar.
We wanted to talk about cryptocurrencies.
Nee, it's for tomorrow. Yeah, it's too.
Asseblief,
not now.
Cryptocurrency.
Sal môre daar. It's 9:45.
Come up for the last 3 minutes.
Nee, it's a long conversation.
Okay, give me
nee, what force G?
Quick hits, bro. The last thing before we go. What's the worst thing you've ever stolen?
Me?
Yes, I'm talking to you.
My mother's money to go and play Pac-Man and Rally X
He's going back.
by die groot winkels. Yeah, that was my point of reference in stealing. That is money out of my mother's purse.
It's so weird that when you asked the question, I was like, ek steel nie so. But when you said mother, I was like, yeah.
Ek het baie goed by die
Ek het baie goed. But ja, ek het ook geld gevat.
Ek het geld.
Okay, laat ek
geld gesteel.
Kom ek gebruik die regte woord. Ek het geld gesteel.
Ja.
If it's not yours, you stole it. Yeah, but I don't really have a stealing reference.
My mother would come because sometimes it's bread money.
Yeah.
It's the last. I'm so addicted to playing Pac-Man.
And you're so oblivious. You think mommy always has money for bread and stuff like that.
Mohona Jesu, baie Mariva. Wie het geld uit my beurs uitgevat? There are 18 people living in our house.
So you're the last suspect.
I'm my mother's child. How will my mother suspect me of taking money out of a purse?
For bread.
Is miskien die. And my mother would always suspect. Weet jy, is die kind, nee? Kyk, hierdie wat my niggie se kinders nou hier play, nee. I'm happy, just suspecting.
Laat daar nie nog 'n roker in die huis is. He gets suspected of all the crime. Any money missing. Like as weer jy.
Ek koop ys. Dan weet ek my ys is uitgesot vir die dag.
So they did when you are pointing to other people, your tongue is pink. Van die ace.
Ja.
It was him.
A good comedy routine. Why didn't you say it off air?
Don't worry, nobody will remember.
So waar maar ek. Slecht chick.
Oh yeah.
That is classic childhood stuff. Sê kyk hoe lyk jou lippe.
Streef van dood of lewe. It's not me. Mami sê ekie. Sê ekie. Yeah, guys.
Anyway, that's our show for today.
That's the morning
went
mix
from
for this
sports
Wednesday.
to stealing, but anyway.
Yes.
Interesting, guys.
They must always say the best things, the best parts of the show always happen after we say, "Come on, guys, it's time to go." That's when the juiciest parts always come out. All right, we're out of here. It's a Wednesday, so you can catch the hour with Hannes Kaufman and Tate Nawanes between 12 and 1. That's the live stream. Kaufman is, of course, on the air from 10 until 1. And Sammy Tate Nawanes on lunch. So those of you who are catching us on our terrestrial frequencies, you can catch that. It's called Tate Nawanes on lunch between 1 and 2. And of course, meneer Dirk Kleinschmidt.
Tate Nawanes on lunch. Hi, Boha. We need to really look at that name.
Hey, los het topic Yates.
No, some more creativity as a belief, Sam.
And then the info drive, of course, is our afternoon drive time with Meneer Dirk Kleinschmidt. That's also coming your way between 3 and 6. 3 and 6, I'm not, 3 and 6. Let's go with 3 and 6 for now. And we are going to be back tomorrow with more Morning Mix.
Yeah. Weekday mornings from 6 to 9, Monday to Fridays. The Morning Mix.
As you journey through life towards your retirement goal, build your wealth with Elite Save. Earn 8.5% compound interest on your investment term while choosing when and how you receive your interest returns. It's tailor-made to help you succeed. For more info, SMS Elite Save to 31844 and we will call you back. Underwritten by Trustco Life.
We play the best of Namibian music.
Yeah.